Okay, so that was a few years ago when you first came in contact. And that was my very first mentoring experience ever, to be honest. I was fresh. I was a year out of high school, and I decided that college wasn't for me, and I wanted to find somebody to mentor me to get into something that I was really passionate about. So when I first came into contact with you, I actually had to compete with, like, I think there was 60 people trying to get onto your program. And I was one of the people that was actually able to join it and complete it. But working with you was awesome. It was my first mentoring experience. And I mean, even now today, I've had a couple other ones, and I still remember the stuff that we went through, and the stuff that you taught me, I actually kind of used as like building blocks to kind of help me get where I'm at right now. Working with you is awesome. The biggest thing was I had to take notes because you have a lot of stuff to give to people. So I still actually have that notebook from like 6 years ago that I kind of revert back to. I've even handed it off to a couple friends to kind of help them as well. So there was a lot of intel. Working with you was great. I felt like it was really easy you mirrored the students. So if there was certain people, like I think there was like John Everhart or a couple other guys that were in our group, and there was a lot of different personalities, and you really mirrored them well and kind of were able to bring everybody back online and keep everything really dialed in as far as like the curriculum that you were trying to teach us. So I appreciated that a lot. It was actually learning rather than like a get together and, kind of shooting the shit with people. So it was a really good experience. Everything that I learned, in your program, the biggest takeaway that I had was, like the power teams and how important those relationships were to you and able to grow. It's something that you have to be mindful of different relationships in the meantime, and more relationship basis, not emotional relationship, but just like a good relationship has helped me get to different levels. Certain things, I didn't get to go to college. I was always just the worker horse. I always wanted to work. And after meeting with you, I felt like, you can learn this stuff without having to go to college, and you can do these things without having to go to a certain area, but you do need the knowledge. I was able to actually take what I learned from you and actually connect with different companies or business mentors that were here locally that helped me kind of succeed. And the hard thing about that is, you almost have to have something to add when you go to these things. It's not just a one way. You can't just be take from these guys. They're not going to, give you the time of day. So I had to figure out a way to bring something to the table, and I really wanted to hone in on my marketing skills and my relationship skills. And I really like being the connector. If somebody needs something, that I'm able to find somebody who I trust, I recommend, like a personal Angie's List. And that's helped me open doors and get in front of people that I would have never been able to get in front of before. And that I give a ton of credit to where I'm at now with those relationships that I helped build. And I would have never put any importance in those relationships had I not gone through your course. Listen, take him seriously. Yeah, don't waste time. I had to compete to get in front of Edwin for the 6 weeks that we were together. And, don't take it for granted. He's doing something for you, and you're not asking for anything back. You're totally giving a ton of value to somebody. They need to take you seriously, and I think they should take notes, because I've had to re-look at that stuff, time and time again since then. Like I said before, this is my first mentoring thing. I had no idea what I was walking into. I just know that I was hungry and I wanted to learn. And from the interactions that we had, you were always very, upfront and forward in what your intentions were. And I wanted to be a part of that. So to have been chosen out of the 60 people that competed, that was huge. But at that point, I still didn't know what we were going to be going through, and then week 1, week 2, you gave us homework, and I took it to heart. I loved that homework. That was the only homework I enjoyed doing. I was going out finding properties, trying to figure out how to put them under contract, stuff like that. For what that did for me on a mental psyche basis, it's hard to measure, because it's changed the whole course of what I've done. I was working at Mercedes doing oil changes, right out of high school before, and now I'm in real estate, and I'm closing $6 to $7 million a month in deals from my brokerage alone, and I have a restaurant, and all of these things. It started with one thing, and you just have to keep getting, better and refining it. So getting through your class and feeling that accomplishment and getting that knowledge and all of those relationships from everybody in the course, you include, everybody, that's helped me really just keep my head, on a swivel on what I want to do, where I want to go. And I had a why behind it. I saw the successes that other people were doing, and I wanted that. I wanted to do that. And I didn't want to I didn't want to take any shortcuts, so I knew that putting the time in was going to be the only way to do it. And to get through your program, I felt super accomplished. And to still be in contact with you afterwards is such a huge, thing. So emotionally, it's so hard to register how much of an impact it was, but it changed the trajectory of where I was going for sure. Yeah, it sounds silly because this probably wasn't one of your main parts, but it was one that just hit home with me, and it's more of like that relationship basis, the power team model that you had explained to me or created and told me about. Getting your power team. I want to do flips and stuff. Me and my buddies do. We've done 3 or 4 flips since my class, and having that power team, my electrician that I know I can count on, and I know he's going to give me right prices, my roofer, my landscaper, all that stuff, having that book of contacts or business, and when I call, they answer and they're going to give me the best price and make a priority is invaluable, because I'm earning deals and gaining business from being able to produce that, where other people are scrambling. Maybe they're cheaper, maybe they're more well-known, but they can't produce that stuff. And only having those relationships and watering those flowers with these guys for so many, months or years put me in that position. So the power team, honestly, is my favorite thing that I took away from your class, and I use it constantly, and I tell so many people about it.